Hello everyone, welcome to Lukman IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 23rd April 2021. So let us see which are the important articles in today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, these are the important articles. For mains purpose and for prelims purpose we have segregated them. Let us take overview of all these articles first. The checkered legacy of Chief Justice of India. So the article written by Advocate Prashant Bhushan, the context of the article is that now the new Chief Justice of India is appointed. So the evaluation of the earlier Chief Justice of India is done in this particular article, and how this particular position has not, let's say, worked up to the mark and maintained the independence of judiciary. This is how the article is discussing. We are going to take input from GS2 paper polity part here. Judges pro tem. So here the ad hoc judges are being appointed by the judiciary in high courts now, as the judicial appointments have been delayed by the executives. So from that perspective we are going to take input here. GS2 paper polity part, some analysis is done in appointment of ad hoc judges to high courts. Next, making education accessible. So from GS2 paper governance, human resource development and essay paper part, how online education can be made more accessible. So this is how during this pandemic time period, so there can be essay paper, along with that GS1 also society part, online education, access to education, that is also important aspect. So we are going to understand what way forward the article is talking here. Specifically prelims related articles, Modi announces climate partnership with US. So what is this particular climate partnership and its two important components we are going to understand from environment perspective, as well as India-US relationship, international relations. Climate is very important sector where the cooperation is going to happen between these two countries in near future. US will cut emissions by 52% by 2030. So this announcement was done by US President Joe Biden in the particular climate summit that is going on, or let's say convened by the US President himself, Leaders Summit on Climate. The name of the summit is Leaders Summit on Climate. So these both announcements were done by the respective heads of the government. So we'll take input accordingly as outcome of that summit. India joins search for submarine. So here Indonesian submarine had lost its contact, and now the search operations are going on, and now India will also help in those search operations. So what is this particular search operation and which vessel is going to take participation in this search operations, we are going to understand here as international relations follow up to that part. Okay. Now let us go into details of all these articles. The checkered legacy of Chief Justice of India. So basically here the context is evaluation of the outgoing Chief Justice of India. So how the evaluation is being done through various instances, along with that how the Chief Justice of India maintains the independence of judiciary by being a, let's say, or by having this particular role of master of roster. Okay, so deciding the priority of accorded to hearing the cases, their allocation to the benches and setting the tone for court by his leadership. This becomes critical during the pandemic time periods, and last 1.5 year working of the outgoing CJI is being evaluated through various cases, various instances, petitions before Supreme Court, and how it was dealt by the Chief Justice of India. Let us try to take input here. We need to know all these cases so as to understand the role played by judiciary while dealing with these cases. For example, first one, dilution of Article 370 and reorganization of state of Jammu and Kashmir. All these cases are still pending before judiciary. Okay, and judiciary has delayed in dealing with all these cases. Citizenship Amendment Act, police confrontation at Jamia University campus, entry of gangs into Jawaharlal Nehru University who beat up the students and teachers, while Delhi police did not do anything in such cases. Engineered riots in Delhi happened, validity of electoral bonds, nationwide lockdown and suffering of migrant laborers, farmers protest case, critical role in dealing with complaints against judges. Let us try to understand what happened here in dealing with these cases. For example, if we are talking about the riots that happened in Delhi, so whatever the, let's say, the role of government, or we can say Delhi police, this has not been, let's say, criticized. The strong action is not taken by the Supreme Court in these cases, and still the petitions are going on. And in these riots cases, some of the student leaders, journalists, they have been criticized, or those petitions of habeas corpus, they have not been addressed, okay, in, we can say, urgent manner. Then electoral bonds. So there was one petition by this writer itself in Supreme Court regarding stopping of selling of these all these electoral bonds before the assembly elections this year, and now Supreme Court had said that or we can say did not allow such stay, and these electoral bonds scheme is continuously being implemented, right. Nationwide lockdown and suffering of migrant laborers. So again, the Supreme Court did not take any action here looking at the sufferings of migrant laborers in those last year lockdown. And even in one case, or in one hearing, Supreme Court went on to say that when the government is, let's say, making or ensuring that the laborers or poor people are being fed, then what is need of transferring money to them? Okay, this is how the minimal approach is being taken by the Supreme Court in dealing with rights of the people here. So in against to what Supreme Court is the protector of the rights of the people, here the minimal actions or position stand is being taken by the Supreme Court while protecting rights of the people, right, especially when we talk about the social justice aspect. Then farmers protest, there was one committee formed by the Supreme Court, and it was criticized because the members of committee did not enjoy let's say that much clean image, because these members earlier had supported those farm laws. Okay, so that's why again the exact or effective outcome was not there in case of, let's say, mediation done by Supreme Court here in dealing with farmers protest. And lastly, the critical role in dealing with complaints against judges. So one of the judge was, let's say, having the allegations, one let's say by the CM of Andhra Pradesh in land buying case. So those allegations were not, let's say, dealt into details. Whatever the in-house mechanism is there to deal with such allegations, that was not properly done, or not, let's say, having transparency, it is not open to public. Also, one of the case of the earlier CJI against whom the allegations of sexual harassment were done. So there was, let's say, in-house mechanism, the one committee was there wherein the outgoing CJI was the chair of that particular committee, and whatever the in-house mechanism had done the investigation proceedings of that committee, and the outcome, the report is not in public domain. So this is how the role in dealing with complaints against judges, this is being criticized here. So in all these important cases, either the judiciary delayed in dealing with these cases, or did not, let's say, deal with them at all. This is how the outgoing CJI and his working is being criticized by the writer. A powerful constitutional court like Supreme Court of India must rise to these challenges, and it is in such challenging times its mettle and independence is tested. Okay. So, we can say that all dealing with all these cases, there was weak or ineffective dealing, and that is why the role of Chief Justice of India and responsibilities of Chief Justice of India, they are very important, especially as the master of roster. Okay. This is being criticized by the writer here. So, this is important. Why? Because independence of judiciary, very important. Independence of judiciary is very important, and this has been in question in last 5 years, especially last 4 CJIs, Chief Justice of India, and their independent working, especially for this role, is being criticized from time to time. Fine. So, there can be question in GS2 paper polity part about independence of judiciary and its working. You need to know aware or be aware about all these cases. Okay. Now, again similar section of your syllabus, GS2 paper polity part, judges pro tem. So, now after let us say delayed appointments by the executive or the government in high courts, so we can understand that now appointment of retired judges of ad hoc judges as ad hoc judges is being done under Article 224A of the Indian Constitution by the Supreme Court. So, Supreme Court has invoked or chosen to activate this Article 224A. You need to remember this article of the Constitution, which provides for appointment of ad hoc judges in high courts based on their consent. Right. So, the unacceptable delay in the appointment process in recent times has caused huge vacancies in the high courts. If we are talking about the facts here, what are data, as on 1st February 2021, this particular vacancies are 419 vacancies in 25 high courts. 419 vacancies in 25 high courts in the country. So, this is the situation. Try to write always updated data or facts in your answer. Now, you are going to appear in 2021 mains examination. Again further we will update this data on vacancies whenever we are dealing with same issue. Okay. So, in your notes try to update this particular data or facts always. Now, the current memorandum of procedure will be followed for appointing ad hoc judges, that is the process is initiated by Chief Justice of High Court with suggested tenure of 2 to 3 years. Right. At the same time, the Supreme Court has also clarified that this will be interim procedure and we can say transitory methodology and does not constrain the regular appointment process by the executives. Right. This is how we have to understand that there is huge vacancies. At the same time, the pendency of cases is also huge before these high courts. Also, you need to understand that it does not mean, or we can say that the higher vacancy does not always correlate with the higher pendency of cases, because in some of the cases, if you are talking instances, if you are talking about one of the high court wherein there is pendency or vacancies in the high courts, however, the pendency is also less. That means whatever the high court judges are there, they are, let us say, disposing all these cases in a faster manner or in efficient manner. Okay. So, this is not always the case, but in overall if you are talking about, these vacancies are leading to higher number of pendency of cases before the high courts. Now, when we talk about, let us say, way forward for judiciary and executive, sure, judiciary should ensure that only retired judges with experience and expertise are offered the temporary positions and there is no hint of favoritism. So, this is how the independence of judiciary should be ensured by appointing those retired judges with enough experience and expertise in dealing with cases, and their appointment should not result into any allegations of favoritism, right? And what is the, let's say, way forward here for executive or the government? The government would do well to expedite the regular appointment process from its end and give up its propensity to hold back some recommendations selectively. So whatever the recommendations that are there of the through the collegium process, the government should expedite that process of appointment to the judges to the high courts. This is the role of the government at present, or need of the hour on behalf of the government. So when we talk about GS2 paper polity part, the pendency of the cases, you need to know about this is also one route available with the Supreme Court in dealing with this issue. Article 224A of the Indian Constitution, ad hoc judges. You need to remember this article, you need to mention this article whenever we are writing about these ad hoc judges being appointed in high courts. Fine. So GS2 paper polity part. Next, making education accessible. Now we know that in last 1 year we have shifted to online education because of pandemic. Schools are shut down. At the same time, the exam process or the evaluation of all these, let's say, curriculums is not being done properly because of shifting to the online education, and therefore this is being criticized from time to time that the government is not making efforts to ensure the last mile connectivity for online education, especially to the government schools. So how this particular divide can be bridged by the government? We know that at present, if we are talking about some factual aspect, internet penetration in India, it has reached to 50%, but this is again only half, or we can say half of the people do not have access to the internet, especially in rural areas. The students are not receiving the education, they are out of education system, formal education system, and they are not able to access the education, online education, because lack of internet penetration or lack of devices, lack of finance available with them. All these issues are constraining these students. Along with that, even the teachers in rural areas, they are not finding the right avenues to go online for the online education. How they do not have that much enough training on how to record these videos, right? All these problems are being faced. So for that matter, how to improve the access to the education, how to bridge this divide that some of the population is facing while accessing education. So the writer is providing some way forward here. Way forward is basically radio and television. Okay, so All India Radio is blessed with 470 broadcasting centers with over 92% of country's geographical area and 99% of our population. You can mention about this All India Radio. And DD Doordarshan handles television, online and mobile broadcasting across our country and in the world with 34 satellite channels, 17 well equipped studios in state capitals and 49 studio centers in other cities. Now education is one of the three functions of these two agencies under Prasar Bharati Act. Okay, this Prasar Bharati is India's broadcasting corporation handling both radio and TV in. So education is one of the three functions of these two agencies, and therefore they can be augmented now. How they can be augmented? For example, education broadcast for class 10, 11, 12 to begin with can be done over AIR and DD, All India Radio and Doordarshan, in ratio of 4:1, 4 hours for radio, 1 hour for TV. Those courses which need demonstration and where seen and observed physical activity is important can be broadcasted on TV. For example, if you are teaching about physics, chemistry, so all these require some physical demonstration, practical knowledge, they can be taught on the TV. Otherwise the remaining topics, or let's say subjects like language subjects, they can be taught on the All India Radio. Along with that, teachers can be also taught to create appropriate tools for evaluation over radio and TV also. Right. And lastly, the government could consider as internet service providers to provide some hours over the internet at free of cost or free usage to teachers and students. This is how the finance or the cost involved in having access to this internet, that will be also reduced. Right. So, the obstacles at present faced by the teachers and students, especially in rural areas, they do not have access to the internet. Second, lack of hardware available, that means smartphones, laptops, PCs, say, so lack of hardware. Third aspect you need to be aware about is they do not have training teachers, right. And fourth aspect is finance. Students or their parents, they do not have avenues to have let us say, or the to those costs involved in accessing to the education or the internet, right. So, because of that, all these aspects are there. Lack of education, access to the education is the problem here. So, access to internet, simply focus on all these four aspects whenever we are writing about the constraints, challenges faced by the students, right. So, essay paper, governance part, human resource development, GS2 paper, you can focus on all this. Now, specifically prelims related developments. So, at present there is leaders summit on climate that is going on and being hosted by US President Joe Biden. So, there our Prime Minister announced launching of India US climate and clean energy agenda 2030. Okay, this agenda is launched by our Prime Minister, and there will be two aspects here: strategic clean energy partnership and climate action and finance mobilization dialogue. Okay, strategic clean energy partnership and climate action and finance mobilization dialogue. So, basically it will involve to mobilize finance, speed clean energy deployment, demonstrate and scale innovative clean technologies needed to decarbonize sectors, various sectors like industry, transportation, power, building and other sectors. Okay, so, focus will be on two aspects: clean energy, and second is technology and clean energy and technology aspect, and second is finance mobilization. So, basically again technology and finance, these two are important aspects. So, whenever we talk about the cooperation, climate cooperation in terms of adaptation and mitigation strategies from developed countries to developing countries like India. Next, US will cut emissions by 52% by 2030. So, here the context of the article again, that the leaders summit on climate that is going on, hosted by Joe Biden, US President, and US committed in two aspects, in reduction of emissions and finance aspect. So, US would cut its greenhouse gas emissions by 50 to 52% by 2030 relative to 2005 levels. So, basically it is commitment to the Paris Agreement now. Commitment to the Paris Agreement, non-binding agreements, again it is not binding on the country, it is voluntary commitments. We know that nationally determined contributions, NDCs, this is now part of US commitment. At the same time, US would double by 2024 its annual financing commitment to the developing countries, including tripling of its adaptation finance by 2024. This is how on finance part from developed countries to developing countries, this is the commitment. This finance announcement are part of $100 billion a year per year commitment for developed countries to the developing countries for the period of 2020 to 25 under the Paris Agreement. Okay. This is how US President has committed in terms of climate change actions. At the same time, his administration have linked this climate action and clean technology to jobs and economic growth. Okay. So, this is the new let's say, aspect that climate action plan and clean technology is being linked by the government, US government, to the jobs and economic growth. So, we can understand that whatever the economic growth will be there, it will have focus on clean economic growth, and here also whatever the new jobs, those skills and innovation will be focused on clean technologies, right. This is how linking to the economy, sustainable economy. And lastly, India joins search for submarine. So, here the context is that one of the submarine of Indonesia lost its control, or we can say that contact, on 21st April, and now Indian Navy has dispatched its Deep Submergence Rescue Vessel, DSRV, Deep Submergence Rescue Vessel, from Visakhapatnam to support the Indonesian Navy in search and rescue efforts of its submarine KRI Nanggala. Okay. So, this is the submarine that went on missing with 53 personnel aboard. Now, India is amongst few countries in the world capable of undertaking search and rescue of disabled submarine through this DSRV. Okay. So, at the same time, India has also, after the detection of submarine successfully located, another sub-module of the DSRV, Submarine Rescue Vehicle SRV, links with the submarine to rescue the trapped personnel. This is how, after detecting the submarine also, to rescue all these personnel on that submarine, there will be separate vehicle, submarine rescue vehicle from this DSRV. This is how the unique technology, and India is one of the few countries having this technology developed in terms of rescue and search, rescue and search operations in terms of submarine, right. So, this is the cooperation. International relations, you can take input as follow up on this, fine. Okay. So, these were important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. For further information on editorial discussion classes or ED classes, wherein in-depth analysis of mains related issues and articles is done by Ansari sir and team, you can contact Lukman IAS. Thank you.